that community is children.
Good.
There are over 2,000 individuals who live in Casey, but about 1,200 or 1,300 of those are children. So our services are directly focused on their needs. We have a Martha O'Brien Boys and Girls Club, which provides for the needs of the 6 through 18-year-old with recreational services, afternoon tutorial, educational assistance, and special clubs that provide a place for kids to come and belong and provide strong role models for them. We also provide adult services in the form of family and adult education. Our foundation for most of Martha O'Brien's programs is education. We work with adults and their children in a family education program. This is a program where we enroll the adults, we enroll the children, and we work with both individually but as a group. We work with the parent as a parent, helping them and guiding them in developing parenting skills, helping them to learn their role as an advocate on behalf of their children, helping them work through problems that they're encountering, providing counseling if that's important, or just someone to talk to. We also provide job assistance, training, and employment preparation. That's a new component of our program this year, working with 4 businesses. We're able to work with the families in our education program and not only provide the ABCs, but also begin to help them identify through some guidance where they want to go beyond education. And with the corporate partners, we're able to provide some training and actual employment preparation and employment with the adults in the program. The other programs we provide are in a community services, a sort of outreach. And that involves our programs for the elderly and the handicapped, such as the Meals on Wheels program, which I began with back in 1980. We also provide resources for the community through Martha O'Brien's community base that they have a difficulty accessing in other ways. Martha O'Brien houses a Metro Resource Center, which is where Metro Social Services and Department of Human Services come together to provide in one place, through one person, the needs for a family.
This is the one-stop shop. Is that good?
Yes.
Explain that and talk about that.
Well, one of the issues that I think Mayor Bredesen saw and many of us in social service see is that families who need our help, we often make it very difficult for them to receive that help, not only in terms of accessing those. I mean, we make them travel all over town to get the services that they need or to get signed up for those. But we also make them talk to a number of different people. We have to talk to one person if we need assistance with food, someone else if we need for housing. The one-stop shopping is an effort to bring together and consolidate all those services where a case manager can sit down with a family and help guide and plan for them an opportunity to get to everything they need without having to go all over town to do it. So as a resource in our center, we can provide access to that service. But we can also integrate that into what Martha O'Brien does. I think the opportunity to pull together programs and services so that we as professionals are molding the best support system for families is important. So as a resource, we can provide those within our building, and we coordinate with many agencies in bringing their professionalism and their expertise into the Martha O'Brien Center. As a community base, they want that access. We have families who need services, so we can provide those. And as I said, through counseling, we work with Family and Children's Services, Crittenton Services, Oasis Center. I mentioned that we are a Martha O'Brien Boys and Girls Club, so we work with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Middle Tennessee. Second Harvest, Nashville Read, Senior Citizens are a number of the agencies we work with in a private sector, but we're real pleased to also have that public partnership through the Metro departments.
Ms. Keller, the comprehensive family center, that whole idea and some of the things that you're doing, they're so enormous that you sort of hesitate even to raise questions in reference to some of these areas. I think you mentioned earlier about your corporate sponsors. Now, let's talk about that, and let's talk about it from the perspective of trying to create a situation, because I say that primarily because now we're dealing with a situation where we will almost immediately have to deal with welfare reform. I mean, that's one of the things that will be on the national agenda, and as a person involved in social welfare, you understand that. Let's talk about it from the corporate point of view. That is, what can private America do in order to help deal with some of the problems that we find in the welfare system?
Well, one is to become aware and informed and educated as to what those problems are. I think looking sometimes from the outside in, we make judgments as to the situations and the circumstances that families are facing. So education, I think, for the corporate community is real important. I think what Martha O'Brien Center does is it provides not only an opportunity for corporate citizens and entities to give back and help, but it also provides a service and a product that corporations and businesses need. Many of the companies we're working with, the first thing they mention to us is that a qualified, educated, prepared workforce is very difficult to sustain.
What are some of the corporate companies that you're working with? And I say that primarily because we want it known that companies that are making that kind of effort and making that kind of contribution, we want it known primarily because others might wish to do so, but they might be somewhat reluctant to become involved. And let's talk about it from that perspective. Call names. So
we have a number of companies who give financial support to the center, but those that are involved this year in our family education and job training program, are 4 that we're working with for this calendar year is OBrien, Kroger, or OBrien Gaylord Entertainment, Kroger, Kelly Services, and Belmead Country Club. And these were businesses who became involved with Martha O'Brien, first to meet an initial need they had, which was to find individuals who wanted to work and had the skills to work and provide employment for them. We have individuals that Martha O'Brien works with that want to work. What they lack is someone that'll help teach them the skills they need and provide an opportunity for them to get started. I remember when I came out of school,